So now it's time for Behind the Stream, and powered by Ecamm. And he had to change his glasses out, like which glasses I'm going to wear to match the microphone, like which mic I'm going to have. None other than Keith Pelzner. Keith, welcome to the show, sir.
What's going on, people? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. We got you.
Okay. All right.
Hey, can we go through your setup? You have this yellow microphone sitting in front of you. Let's start with your production behind the stream with your audio. Like, come on, Keith. Like when we met, man, you had some really powerful audio tools, and now you're SM7B boy.
Yeah, well, I'm not really an SM7B boy. I am still a Townsend Lab mic guy. And but I like the SM7B so much that I'll use the SM7B modeler as well as the Neumann modelers on the microphone. But that's my baby is still my Townsend Lab. But for streaming, you know, I like to keep it simple. And so yes, I joined the SM7B and the MV7 team.
Welcome to the team, sir.
Very good.
Yeah.
So what audio face are you using to connect your microphone there?
Well, so here's the thing. Because I'm a producer, music guy, it's just like a phobia for me where my actual Rodecaster Pro is sitting on the floor because it was just too simple. I use a Soyuz instead of a cloud lifter. I use a Soyuz launcher, which I actually don't need, but I use it. But I'm using an Apollo universal audio system, and so I can like I have a chain of 4 different modules on this one mic right here, plus the box.
Wow.
Yeah, so that I can, you know, just do a couple of things on it.
Can you show us where that setup is on your desk there?
Yeah, I can show you this. So I'll go. Wait, I'm sorry. Here, let's just go overhead, and you can see it on the desk right over here. This is the.
Yeah.
Let me
Here we
zoom
go.
out. Another here. I'll give you a better look at it. So the box is right here on the desk, and I'm using, this is a 4-input Apollo 4. And so over here, these things that you can see moving over here, that's the whole mixing board. And there's 4 different, what can I say? I have 4 different modules in there just to make the one sound. So compressor, noise gate, so you don't hear everybody in the background and noise and stuff like that. Of course, the EQ. And I was able to use all the stuff that I'm used to using when I used to do production all the time. And so they've made it possible to take those big modules that you had in a big rack and put it into the system.
Keith,
Right.
Keith
You're a professional audio producer, so before you're a streamer, right? So that's totally different, you know.
I was going to say he's advanced settings.
Yeah,
So
he's
you have the
advanced.
advanced setting button right there. So some of us need the easy setting button. That being said, you talked about your audio. Man, you have so many cameras in your setup there. Let's talk about it. Let's just go down the list if you don't mind.
Let's go around the room.
Not a problem. So just right on the Stream Deck, I'll just pop to the Stream Deck first of all so you can see. My buttons are lined up here. I don't have all the other fancy stuff. I actually have a video, and I'm using it now, what I explained on the video, where this second Stream Deck, I use it for a purpose. So if I wanted to queue up what camera I want to go to, I can press one of these buttons, and on my screen, it'll put everything from the press of a button into preview mode so that I can look at my cameras like an A10 Mini and say, hey, all right, let me make sure my jib is lined up right before I hit the button to show everybody. And so that's a great thing. I have a whole video on it. But camera number 1, this was my main camera that I always had, and that's an A6100 with a 30mm lens on it, Sigma 30mm lens on it. My purpose on doing it, and I realize, is rather than just jump straight to a 16mm, you ask yourself, what's my shot? And because this is my shot and I got that much room behind me, in the reach here, I'm just touching the tip of the teleprompter, a 30mm just gave a better picture. And so that's that one shot. The next shot that I use mainly is this one here, and this is an A7C with a Sigma 2470 lens on it, but I leave it at 24 all the time. because it's right here in front of me and the desk. It's catching wide enough to get the background, the room in the back, so you can see it, and that's that shot. And the teleprompter is sitting on there as well. So there's a glide gear on the 6100, and then there's a T3 des view on the monitor in front of me. The next one is a jib, and that's coming from this angle here, and that's a long cord running over to a jib. That's an A6600 with the Sony 55-135 lens on there. And because I don't need bokeh and all of that crap, I'm just, I just need to point the camera, and I put a zoom lens on there, so in case I need to show specific things in the room, for instance, I'll move this guy over. And
Thank you. I was going to ask you to move it. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So if I wanted to move it over and show you, that's the smaller Apollo right there on the desk. That's the old iMac I spent a fortune on before the M1s came out. It's fully loaded, and the fan comes on every darn time. But nonetheless, up top there, that's on the second system. That's an A6100 as well with a 16 millimeter lens on it. And that is a DesView T2. And so that's a T2 teleprompter, and that is a custom mic that I didn't do myself from Colorware, and I just did it in basic tuxedo black and white. The next camera, we have the room camera. This room camera here is a
I'm gonna guess. Can I guess? Hold on. Can I guess?
Go
can
ahead.
I guess?
Go ahead.
It's not an honest guess. I already know what that is. That's a 5100, the Sony 5100. I already knew.
It's a Sony 5100. In the words of my back and forth with Doc Rock and a few other people, I would not recommend you get it unless you already know your why. And if you know your why, you won't ask should you get it. You would have already gotten it, because you're just going to take the camera and throw it up on the wall. I cannot justify throwing the camera up on the wall. That costs a lot of money. So I search Macari app and whatever, and I catch like a bottom dweller. I grab an A5100. And if I have a shot that I just want to show, so if I wanted to copy off of Tom Buck and show a dog shot on the floor, I'm going to get A5100 for it. Or like Jill, another Jill, I got another favorite Jill. I got my Jill Scott, and I got my other Jill. But the funny thing is, you just take an A5100 because it's going to give you that focus, the quality, you throw it on the floor. But that happens to be, and I'll show you from this floater camera. I call this my floater camera. This is an A5100. The camera I just showed you, that's that camera, and look at it. It looks like the white Zv-E10, but it's actually an A5100. And I forgot that I bought 2 of these. I actually have 3 white A5100s, and I forgot that I had it.
You using capture cards or USB?
Yes, I'm using capture cards for all of these.
I love it.
Okay, so that's the floater. That's the one up on the wall. Showed you that one. Then there's the over the desk. This is a A5100, but I took the A7C full camera lens, and I put it on there because it was just sitting around. It's the kit lens, and I just have that over the desk, of course, with a zoom on it in case I need to, get closer shots of anything and pull the shot back out. I have that over top. Last one, another A5100 is this. I call this the Love Cam. And that's the one to show this angle. Now I did that because I was thinking tutorials. I have a keyboard underneath here. So if I'm playing, I need an overhead cam to show that. And then I also wanted to be able to show this angle here to show the different things that you're doing. So there's a keyboard sitting underneath here that I use. And then the last camera,
the last camera. We got another one.
This is the Zv-E10, and I have that on a slider. And so that guy that's a slider that I had already that just going back and forth. So that can show, I can place this anywhere in the room, set the scenes so that when I have to go to it, I can just go to it. I have another scene set, so this is going to turn and show the rest of the room over here. And so that is on Edelkrone slider. But that's a Tamron lens. I wouldn't recommend it now. I liked it when I got it for just showing it right in front of your face, but it's kind of got that bubbling, fishy eye effect that's just like, it's
not too bad.
Starting to irritate me.
Too bad.
But Brent, it's bothering me though.
I think you need some more cameras, sir. You don't have enough.
No. I'm done. I am done. I'm totally done.
Okay. Answer this question for me, Keith. With all the cameras, how are you powering them? What kind of computer are you using to put all this into Ecamm?
This is really going to tick people off, and I want to say this. Jill, what Jill said, I agree with her 100%. It's funny when she answered the question of what's one of the most valued pieces you have, and I was sitting there like when she said the Cal Digit, I was like, you know what, sis? I agree with you 100%. Like, I love my cameras, right? I love my microphones. I love my flat screen, teleprompters, all that. But I was like, dang, that Cal Digit is a monster, right? I got one on each computer. But I'll say this to answer your question. All of the Cal Digits are in non-powered USB hubs. If that helps.
The cameras are coming into non-powered USB hubs, or you're saying your Cal Digits are going into non-powered USB?
So I have the Cal Digit, right? The Cal Digit Thunderbolt into the Mac M1, 16 gig, right?
The Mac Mini.
M1. The Mac Mini, right. So the Mac Mini M1 last year. So I got that. So I have 2 hubs off of Amazon, $30 hubs. And they're the nice little silver ones that are sitting on the back of the computer. I could just take the camera and show it to you. I'll rig it over there. But it's the Cal Digits are all, I have 2 of them directly plugged into the USB in the Mac Mini. And the thing is, I took those 2, put them into the computer, and 6 of the cameras are in those hubs.
I got you.
Yep.
Into the
so it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird because if I'm recommending to somebody how to do it, but I hear the arguments to say you got to have a powered hub, and I'm sitting there like I'm gonna be quiet, but I'm flipping around 6 different cameras on one unit, and they're in the hub.
So tell me about the lighting setup that you have, because I think that's killer as well.
Okay, so I'm playing around with bicolor lights now. I had Neewer, then I went to Godox, and then I got interested in the bicolor because I had clients that would come over and, oh, I need to be softer and I need this, that, and the third. And I'm not a photo video expert. I'm more in the production audio music. So I don't claim to know what I don't know. I got a segment thing that I do called the No Pro, meaning I know what I know, but I'm not a pro at it. Okay.
Gotcha.
So here's the lighting. What I did do, I studied 3-point lighting. I kind of got them brighter now just for this whole segment, but normally I have it darker in the room. It's less light. There's a lantern light over here because when I do a stand-up setup, you just need it light. You just need a full light around you. I don't have enough space over there to do all this 3-point lighting, so I just needed one light to give a good full. These 2 here, I set those where one side is a little bit softer than the other, and then I always knew I needed a hair light, of which I don't actually have hair, but I have a hair light, and it hits the shoulders. So I just turn that on first, see how it hits the shoulders, and then I light it accordingly how I want it to be. Of course, shout out to Doc Rock and all of you who know this stuff. If you look closely, my hue lights, I want to tell everybody, be careful with these hue lights because it'll irritate the heck out of you. You just may get this flicker. This is flickering back here. But these other lights are professional lights where they're not going to flicker. These are not going to flicker. But the hue lights still do that. So you got to be careful with that. Most of the time I get away with it because I just know what colors to play with and how bright or how soft to put it, and it'll just work. So that's the lighting basically.
I love it. I love it. So thank you so very much for sharing with us. I don't want you to go anywhere because we have more to talk about tonight. But this has been the Ecamm powered Behind the Stream.